Hi, this is John with the Broken Arrow channel on YouTube. This is a new channel I started a week or two ago, and this is kind of an introduction to what it's about. And frankly, I'm amazed, flabbergasted, I follow the news quite a bit, and I've followed politics over the years, in the last number of years, a lot more than usual. And there's a term in the military uses. It's called broken arrow. And let's go look that up here. It says, okay, broken arrow, a U.S. military code phrase meaning an American unit has been overrun. It calls in every combat aircraft for support. So basically, you've seen it in movies before, where the term broken arrow. I think there's even a movie named Broken Arrow. I'm not sure, but the United States has been overrun by subversives, seditionists, treasonous individuals that have decided to take the country down. And the media is the chief collaborator in this effort, somehow through the CIA and basically communist left-wing ideologies. They've decided to take down the United States. And basically, we're in a civil war currently. It's September 2017. And I think, in the next 12 months, things are just going to be amazing. Now, I know that 80% of Americans are patriots, in my opinion, 80 to 90%. And this group of subversives, seditionists, treasonous individuals is, probably compromises 10% or less of the population, but they seem to be getting all the attention. Their sound bites seem to resonate on the airways, in the airports, on the radios, But, let's look at a few definitions here, So, well, basically, I'm just saying it's time to call broken arrow. The country's been overrun, and it needs to be dealt with. So, one category, we have subversion. What is subversion? The undermining of the power and authority of an established system or institution, the ruthless subversion of democracy. Well, you tell me if that's not what's going on. Hollywood is like a different world out there in California. Who knows what's going on, but apparently everybody has their price. And, they're doing everything they can to subvert the country. Yes, sedition. What is sedition? Conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of the state or monarch. Rebel rousing, incitement to rebel, subversion, troublemaking, provocation. And typically, over time, sedition crosses the line with free speech and becomes hard to prove. But, when, no time can I ever recall people coming out and talking about assassinating the president so freely, or tearing down the country, or it's just amazing. So now, treason. What's treason? The crime of betraying one's country, especially by attempting to kill the sovereign or overthrow the government. Well, I think there's a lot of that going on, and this is not a recent event. This has been building for 30 years. people have been selling this country out and for their own purposes. So, subversion, sedition, treason. This channel here is going to just highlight, so thousands and thousands of people to pick from. But just, people that I believe are involved in these activities. And, there are some that probably do believe ideologically. Probably quite a number that, ideologically differ with this country. Fine. I stand, for the Constitution, the Bill of Rights. I think the United States looks good on paper. Does it always look good in its actions? No. But, I'm also a Christian person. Let's look at, the 9th commandment. You shall not bear false witness. Well, it's one of the 10 commandments. Apparently, God considered it fairly important. You should not bear false witness against your neighbor. And, what does that mean? I guess there are slightly different interpretations, but it's lying. And according to Bible, lying is a really big deal. You know why? Because Satan is called the father of lies. And there are apparently a lot of children of his running around right now. And frankly, I think a lot of these people just do it for the money, Either that or they're very thoughtless individuals. But, this is not going to go over with 80 to 90% of the United States, the citizens. Us common citizens, we're fed up with the lies. This has been going on for decades now. And the penultimate, at least the most glaring one of the lies is 9/11, which propagated this country into numerous wars, endless bloodshed, millions of people being killed, and immense human suffering, not just in the United States, but worldwide, in the Middle East. And so, you have people who are basically trying to take the country down. Let's pick out a couple in today's headlines. By the way, this Outer Light channel is a pretty neat guy. You might want to look this guy up. He's got a pretty good channel. He posts about twice a day, and his stuff's pretty insightful. But now we got this committee to investigate Russia, headed by with the involvement of Morgan Freeman, who's the voice, a very eloquent spokesman with his deep voice, like the Walter Cronkite deal. You got the good voice, the gravitas, the delivery. So they pay you, they hire you to, promote, propagandize the American people. The usual pattern of things. And if you look on this committee to investigate the war with Russia, we have James Clapper on there, another shining example of an American citizen, who, for whatever his motivations are, seems well intent on derailing the Trump presidency as well as the United States. Morgan, I haven't followed his political ideations, but apparently he's, in league. I can't believe that he would be so ignorant as to lend himself to a totally, defunct. This Russia thing is now into over a year. And believe me, the American people are fed up with it. They're tired of it. So, another buddy, here we go with James Clapper, and numerous pictures of this guy, weird looking guy. I don't know what he's into. I think, he was head of the National NSA, National Security Agency, I guess it's called. Get caught lying in front of Congress and, just amazing individuals here, And, of course, we have currently the chief poster child for liars, Clinton, who's still roaming around with her new book called What Happened? Well, we all know what happened. You got rejected by the American people. We don't want to hear your excuses. But, so it's really just broken arrow time, what is going on with these people that are just willing to do whatever they can to overthrow the country. So that's what this channel's about, just continues to bring forth, kind of vent. It's also an opportunity for me to vent. And personally, what I see going on. And, we're just overrun. And I believe it's going to end up in civil war. In some manner or another, there's going to be events in the next 12 months that are going to bring about martial law and some cataclysmic false flag events. Let's not forget the recent one, Charlottesville, Virginia, which is turning out to be another false flag with nobody killed. And the videos are coming out on that. The hive mind of the internet is dissected, and I think it's been a month or maybe a month and a half since this event happened, and it's being dissected and taken apart, and it's just showing that it was a stage. It was basically a studio, a scripted, narrated event, and they brought in actors and and how this could be propagated on the American people. Well, 9/11 was, so hey, we're tired of it, people. You've gone too far with this stuff. So that's why I say, pretty much it's something radical is going to happen in the next 12 months. That's going to, the Democratic Party, which to me has become a cabal of evil, and the ones that lost the election, we got the deep state and the shadow government. There's things going on right now we don't know about, but it's going to manifest itself in current events and some cataclysmic type events and things. So, I would be prepared for very unusual events coming down the road. And, right now our defense, apart from, picking up arms, in the scriptures you constantly see examples of God confounding the plans and the machinations of evil and the enemies of God. And, I think it's our duty to try to wake other people into the consciousness of truth. And, I would say pray constantly that those people plotting evil against this country be confounded and be turned into the bleeding goats that they are. We have an example of Nebuchadnezzar, as I recall, in the scriptures, where he was a king of, a vast kingdom, and God took his mind and his reasoning away from him. And I think for 7 years he dwelt among the in the forests among the animals, and totally lack of reason. And finally, after 7 years, God restored his reason. Well, this is what needs to happen. And I would love to turn on the TV, the mainstream media someday, and all the people there, they just start talking gibberish, which is what they're talking anyhow. And you've seen it happen before, where you'll see a TV commentator, newscaster, all of a sudden they just start talking craziness, this nonsensical nonsense. Well, that's what you need to, in your prayers, you need just to pray that, I pray constantly that these plotting evil be confounded. At any rate, that's it. That's this introduction to this channel. That's what this channel's about. So, I mean, the examples are so numerous that, I could do this full time, 24 hours a day to pick these people out. But I'm sure, I could probably have a star of the day at this point, At any rate, God bless. Take care. Talk to you later.